Here's your news for July 15th, 2020, and your headlines for today include: WWE accidentally reveals spoiler for Drew McIntyre vs. Dolph Ziggler at Extreme Rules. WWE Hall of Famer is tested positive. What's really going on with John Cena's WWE contract? Kevin Owens spoke with Vince McMahon about returning to WWE NXT. Cody Rhodes reveals the truth about CM Punk's negotiations with AEW. Tony Khan addresses suspensions of Jimmy Havoc and Sammy Guevara. Tony Khan on booking Mike Tyson vs. Chris Jericho. Famous wrestler tried to take an extreme step. Ric Flair could get physical in WWE angle very soon. WWE Tag Team reveal that they owe Paul Heyman their lives, and more. We're kicking off today with news from the horror show at Extreme Rules next, as WWE Champion Drew McIntyre will face Dolph Ziggler in a stipulation the show-off gets to choose. Though Ziggler has promised a match type that's never been used before, that doesn't seem to be the case, as an advert on Facebook for this Sunday's show claims that the WWE title will be defended in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Not only have TLC matches happened before, but this year marks the 20th anniversary of the very first TLC match at SummerSlam 2000, a far cry from Ziggler's claims of their match being something fans haven't seen before. Given the talent of both men, it's likely that a TLC match between the two will be an intense, entertaining contest, but it's strange that WWE have promised a never-before-seen stipulation when clearly that won't be happening. After this Sunday's pay-per-view, the next major event for WWE is SummerSlam, which is slowly starting to take shape. Recently, it's been reported that the company had no plans in place for the biggest party of the summer, but according to Ringside News, the card has now been booked for the show, though of course anything is susceptible to change. It's been previously noted that Edge vs. Randy Orton was planned for the show before their greatest wrestling match ever was pulled ahead to Backlash, and that a hair versus hair match between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville was pitched but never added to the card. The biggest party of the summer will also have to make do without any big names, as Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Ronda Rousey haven't been discussed lately, though there are some matches which have been added. It's being reported that the third encounter between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt will still take place at SummerSlam, as is Drew McIntyre vs. Randy Orton, as the company is hoping to make the best of what will no doubt be the most unique SummerSlam in years. Over to All Elite Wrestling next, as Diamond Dallas Page has spoken about his experiences in the ongoing global situation and what the company is doing. On YouTube, Page said that despite testing negative, he believes he contracted it, as his girlfriend went to a bridal shower that saw 7 people get ill. Speaking of his own experiences, DDP said how his voice got raspy and it was impossible to sleep, and added that AEW star QT Marshall has tested positive, and though his wife negative, she too has shown symptoms. Page even told his doctors that they'd made a mistake when his girlfriend tested positive and he didn't, and closed his video by saying that this situation isn't going away until everyone puts the efforts in. We agree with Page's sentiments that this situation isn't ending until everyone realizes how serious it is, and hopefully this situation will end soon. Back to WWE now, and it's been quite some time since fans saw John Cena compete, and even longer since they saw him compete in the ring, leading some to speculate on his status in WWE. Recently, a false report was sweeping the internet, saying the former WWE Champion's contract had expired, and whilst this meme was created by an anonymous individual, their quote-unquote report was credited to Dave Meltzer. Not only did Meltzer not report this, but Cena himself has said he has no plans to wrestle anywhere other than WWE, and if you need another reason why John won't be on AEW Dynamite, he's also incredibly busy with other projects. With the amount of false stories online, it's always important to make sure you get the honest truth, and in this case, the truth is that Cena's contract with WWE hasn't expired. One man who knows all about facing John Cena is Kevin Owens, and whilst he's doing well on Raw and is rumored for a big push, things weren't always so easy on the Red brand. Speaking to CBS Sports, the former Universal Champion said that he'd spoken to Vince McMahon about the idea of going back to NXT, saying, "I was excited about it. I don't know if it would have been a long or short-term thing. I've been vocal about wanting to go back there." Owens added that the idea is something that he still discusses with Triple H, as he said, "There's a lot of opportunities. The landscape of WWE is changing quite a bit through this situation, and I think it's going to keep evolving." Owens concluded by saying that he hopes to one day help elevate NXT to the level where it's as well known as Raw or SmackDown, but given the rumored push for him and the need of star power on the Red brand due to the current situation, we don't see Owens moving anywhere anytime soon. Back to AEW now, as though plenty of big names have worked with the company during its brief tenure, one person who hasn't is CM Punk. Despite appearing for Fox on WWE Backstage, the former world champion has remained retired from in-ring competition, though that hasn't stopped rumors of him joining AEW. Speaking to TalkSport, AEW founder and reigning TNT champion Cody Rhodes spoke about the rumors that Punk had requested an astronomical amount of money that AEW couldn't meet, saying, "There were negotiations, and he did ask for a great amount of money, and Punk is worth a great deal of money. The price tag becomes a lot more justifiable if you're genuinely interested in what we're doing at the high speed we're doing it. And again, that's not even specific to him, just in general. If the passion is not there, the money is not there." It sounds like it's difficult for AEW to put an exact number on Punk's worth, so they're avoiding his price tag right now. And although the business is being profitable, the young company may not have the financial cushion to risk a mega deal with Punk. It's interesting that Punk wasn't signed, but Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley were, as either these two were asking for much less, or there's more to why Punk and AEW haven't worked together than Rhodes is letting on. In regards to Punk's passion, it's been made clear that the straight-edge savior isn't fussed about wrestling again, but given his appearances on WWE Backstage, he is still clearly passionate about talking wrestling. Perhaps one day Punk will end up in AEW, especially as the company is one of the few entertainment outlets that is still open. And if the Second City Savior does want to work with AEW, it sounds like money isn't an issue. Whilst Punk won't be on AEW TV anytime soon, tonight's edition of Fight for the Fallen has seen two big segments added to the show. It was revealed over social media that Chris Jericho will have something to say tonight, but what he wants to get off his chest is anyone's guess. The Nightmare Sisters Brandi Rhodes and Allie will also be in tag team action, though it's unclear who their opponents will be. Tonight's show will also see Jon Moxley defend the AEW World Championship against FTW champion Brian Cage, a match that was planned for Fyter Fest, and time will tell who leaves with the richest prize in AEW. Two people fans haven't seen on AEW in quite some time are Jimmy Havoc and Sammy Guevara, as their past misdeeds came up recently, leading to their suspension. Havoc was suspended after some heavy claims were made about how he conducted himself with his ex-girlfriend, and Tony Khan addressed this when speaking to the New York Post, saying, "I think Jimmy really needed the counseling. If and when he were to wrestle again, the most important thing for himself and everybody here is that he sought treatment and counseling." Addressing Guevara, who said horrific things about Sasha Banks in a clip from 2016, Khan said, "I had never seen that video, and it's something I would have addressed with him before Sammy started here. I never had an opportunity to address it because I didn't know it existed, and neither did anybody else." Cody Rhodes has said that Guevara will be back and a better man for completing his sensitivity training, and we'll have to wait and see what the future holds for both men. That wasn't all Khan had to say recently, as he recently spoke to Eric Bischoff on the Fight for the Fallen pre-show, and spoke about the comparisons between AEW and WCW. Khan had plenty of praise for Bischoff, as he said that without the former SmackDown executive director, there would be no AEW today, and explained, "You gave me the opening to talk to the president of TNT to talk about the previous success you'd had on his network, which he didn't realize because it's been 20 years. Praising Bischoff wasn't the only thing Khan said though, as he also addresses Mike Tyson's work with AEW, saying, "I really think the world of Mike, and I'd like to have Mike back if we could ever work it out. There's a lot of great matches out there in the future." Given that Tyson recently announced a return to boxing, it may be difficult to get him back in an AEW ring, but if Khan did get him, a match between Tyson and Chris Jericho would certainly make headlines. Back to WWE, and there's been talks recently of Kairi Sane going back to Japan, and now it looks like her own tag partner may be sending her away. When the two appeared on the latest episode of Raw Talk, Both Asuka and Sane discussed their loss against the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Sasha Banks and Bayley, and Sane said that if Asuka retains her Raw Women's title this Sunday, then she's ready for her. Asuka, who will be facing Banks at the horror show at Extreme Rules, has no qualms about facing her tag partner, as she said that she wants to face the Pirate Powerhouse, a match that Sane described as her dream. Earlier this month, it was reported that Sane was going to be finishing her in-ring career soon to go work as WWE's ambassador in Japan, which would allow her to be with her husband, who she married earlier this year. After returning last week, Sane took to Twitter to say that she's back, but we don't know just how long for, and it'll be interesting to see whether Sane and Asuka do face off down the line. We've got news from Will Ospreay next, as the talented star has revealed that he'd recently considered taking his own life. On social media, Ospreay explained that he still feels like he's dragging his feet, but getting better, and rightly told people that ending your own life is never an option, and we'd like to send our best wishes to Will with whatever he's currently dealing with. Back to the ring now, and on Raw, Ric Flair has been around a lot lately, accompanying Randy Orton. During this week's show, though, it was teased that there was friction between the two, and during Wrestling Observer Radio, Bryan Alvarez made the observation that the company is clearly working towards the Legend Killer turning on his mentor. Given that Flair is a 16-time world champion, there are few bigger legends for Orton to kill, and given that the Nature Boy has commented on the safety of the Performance Center, claiming it's safer than a grocery store, he seems more than happy to remain being on Raw. Time will tell whether Orton turns on his Evolution stablemate, but attacking the 71-year-old may be a low move that even the dirtiest player in the game doesn't see coming. From one Hall of Famer to another now, as we're focusing on Jake the Snake Roberts, and the AEW star has undergone surgery. On Instagram, Roberts confirmed that he'd gone under the knife at Advanced Urology in Atlanta, Georgia. Despite being in the hospital, Roberts looked to be in high spirits in the picture he shared and took to Twitter to confirm that he still made it to the AEW tapings yesterday. It's good to see that everything went well for the WWE Hall of Famer, and fans can look forward to seeing the Snake Man and his client Lance Archer, presumably on tonight's edition of Dynamite. And we're ending today with news from the Street Profits, as Montez Ford has said that the Raw Tag Team Champions owe their lives to Paul Heyman. Speaking on Inside the Ropes, Ford spoke highly of Heyman, saying it was the ECW magnate who gave them a wealth of knowledge when they first met, and Heyman was also the first person to speak to them upon their call-up to Raw. Despite being Raw Tag Team Champions, neither Ford nor Angelo Dawkins have been on TV lately, though that may be down to the birth of Dawkins' first child. And whilst we don't know when they'll be back, we do know we have Paul Heyman to thank for helping the duo find their footing.